TV. He was out in California, talking about where we came from. He said the reason we're all here is purely accidental. Evidence all points to evolution. Well, I took a drink of coffee, stepped out on my front porch. I looked up at the sky and out at my old horse, and I thought, he ain't never seen a sunset out west, a cactus or a paintbrush bloom in the springtime. He ain't never seen a coyote crying, a young colt take off running in the sunshine. Well, sometimes we overthink it. I've thought a lot about it, and the only thing that makes any sense is, if you don't believe in God, you ain't never been to Texas. I wish all the non-believers cross that old Red River, 'cause it would open up their eyes. When I wake up every morning and I look out at heaven, Lord, it ain't hard to recognize. If there's anybody out there still trying to figure out exactly where we came from and what life is all about, I'd say, you ain't never seen a sunset out west, a cactus or a paintbrush bloom in the springtime. You ain't never seen a coyote crying, a young colt take off running in the sunshine. Well, sometimes we overthink it, but I've thought a lot about it, and the only thing that makes any sense is, if you don't believe in God, you ain't never been to Texas. Well, if you don't believe in God, you ain't never been to Texas. Seen a man on the TV, he was out in California, talking about where we came from. He said the reason we're all here is purely accidental. The evidence all points to evolution. Well, I took a drink of coffee, stepped out on my front porch. I looked up at the sky and out at my old horse, and I thought, he ain't never seen a sunset out west, a cactus or a paintbrush bloom in the springtime. He ain't never seen a coyote crying, a young colt take off running in the sunshine. Well, sometimes we overthink it. I've thought a lot about it, and the only thing that makes any sense is, if you don't believe in God, you ain't never been to Texas. Wish all the non-believers cross that old Red River, 'cause it would open up their eyes. When I wake wake up every morning and I look out at heaven, Lord, it ain't hard to recognize. If there's anybody out there still trying to figure out exactly where we came from.
She was storming through the house that day. I could tell she was leaving. And I thought, oh hell, she'll be back. She turned around and pointed at that wall. She said,
that picture from our honeymoon, that night in Frisco Bay, just give it away.
Riding across that silver screen, I ain't that picture in your head. All these modern day wannabes, I'm just proud that I can say I don't wear this hat for show or fame. And if you don't like who I am, you got mama and daddy and a good Lord to blame. Amen. I'm a straight up, no joking, buck knife gun toting, give you the shirt off of my back. Well, I'm up at the crack of dawn, work till the sun's gone. I ain't got time for no crap. No, I'm not one of them posing pretty boys. I'm an everyday, all the way, 100% cowboy. I've always tucked my shirts in, I crease my Wrangler jeans. I don't do it because it's who somebody said I ought to be. Yeah, when I'm laying in that old pine box and all my family's gathered around, I'll say, there goes that breed, 6 feet in the ground. Shirt off of my back. Well, I'm up at the crack of dawn, work till the sun's gone. I ain't got time for no crap. No, I'm not one of them posing pretty boys. I'm an everyday, all the way, 100% cowboy. Well, now I'm not one of them posing pretty boys. I'm an everyday, all the way, 100%
husband came up, a German, it's Joseph Strauss, God. Joseph Strauss, an engineer with over 400 building bridges under his name, came up with a bid signed at $27 million, and he eventually got the bid. It wasn't easy. He had an uphill battle. There were still naysayers. He came up with a design that eventually won. However, his first design of the bridge, he came up, it was very, as they would say, very angled. And he studied everything from the winds to the currents, the geology. He came up with a design, but he wasn't working fast enough for Strauss, but he came up with a winning design. This is a story that's rarely ever said. Well, Strauss turned around and told, very frustrated with Ellis, told Ellis, take a vacation, you need some time, you're working too hard. Ellis took a vacation, and while he was away, he was spotted. Some people feared that Strauss was afraid of getting some of the glory taken away from him. However, he was very instrumental in Strauss getting the political backing to build this bridge. With the help of the Bank of America, 33, Bethlehem Steel was awarded the contract to build 76,000 tons of steel and fabricated back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then put it on trains down to Philadelphia, to the port of Philadelphia, and around the Panama Canal on ships, and back over here to Alameda, to the left on the other East Bay, and systematically lay it out. And then they started building of this bridge, building each of the towers. These towers are 746 feet tall. From the deck of the bridge, 250 feet down to the water. As you can see, the natural arc of the bridge is that because of these cables that are pulling it up. Those cables that you see, this is the largest ones, are 3 feet wide, but consist of 80,000 miles of pencil-thin cable that have been wrapped and delivered all the way around into one solid piece. This bridge is being painted all year round. At the time, mechanic, the engineers, that arc of the bridge actually started to flatten out from the weight. Now, next year, remember Robin Williams, the comedian and actor Robin Williams, has a home. Yeah. Seacliff. Now these cars are slowly coming, smart cars are slowly coming to San Francisco on the street. Again, the dense population is pretty evident throughout the city. Unless you live down in Seacliff, where all the mansions are. They're beautiful homes. The city of San Francisco buildings left in the city of San Francisco when everyone else left, serving veterans. He was an engineer who came up with this. He had a specialty of German companies, engineering companies, were coming up with even better systems. This area is supervised and is now part of the National Recreation Area. It's been turned over to the park system, the Ocean Beach. Now these waters down here are 58 degrees, 13 degrees centigrade. Not exactly. People coming down here, even though this was, as they would look down here at playland at the beach, the playland at the beach was kind of the Coney Island. It was an amusement park for a good mile and a half inward. But this was the place to come on the weekends. People would come down here, jump. Actually started to fall. The builder was sued for shoddy workmanship, and so they redid them, and then the new developer redeveloped another after. As we come up here on the left, on this windmill here on the left, you'll see something very familiar to you, the folks from the Netherlands, as you'll see. His name Queen. But those windmills at one time actually used to turn, had made their way into San Francisco. You'd have scale models, let's say, of the Mayflower or the USS Constitution, old sailing boats. Today they're motorized speedboats and or sailboats. You can read the reserve an area of the park for yourself. The biggest thing that happens at least 3 times. That was one of the few mansions that survived the 1906, actually were destroyed in the 1906 earthquake. Up on Nob Hill, an area that we'll be going in. There's a lot of vintage pictures on the internet where you can see the matching house to that portico. Sign of times. Now the park will get very busy today. We're approaching our next stop. And then torn down after the 1989 earthquake due to a number of the damage, structural damage. It was going to cost more to fix it. They decided, why don't they just replace it? So they replaced it, and a German architecture came in with this design. This is the New Young Museum, which I'm going to recommend that you take the ride up to the tower, and you get a nice midwinter fair. The Academy of Sciences was torn down and rebuilt and made into a new made out of sustainable products. This entire plaza right here, on top of that cement, is actually styrofoam. The inside, we're going to take a little break here at the Young Museum. There are bathrooms in this Young Museum.
San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
of these statues were indeed truly hidden. A lot of statues, not until in the last 20 years, were actually uncovered more so. But you would ride our bikes through the park, and again, this being our backyard, it's still a beautiful garden. In the design of this park, and again, this portion of the park was part of the design that would be more of a cultural area. So the statues in glass greenhouse, it suffered some damage in 1995. A major windstorm, a rare windstorm, came through San Francisco and damaged the glass and shut the building down for a good number of years. It was put on a National Historical List, and inside that building are plant life that you have never seen before. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Silver and the hoochie coochie, in the silver and the goldy asphalt.
My grandfather had a restaurant here in 1916 next to the Happy Donuts here on the left-hand side. It was a Mexican restaurant, and he saw this neighborhood change from what it was when my parents grew up here in this neighborhood. This was a nice area. This was a place to live. And now soon we saw the introduction of LSD, marijuana. Now, this street we were not allowed to walk down on. My parents said you were not allowed to. This was a bank for candy stores. They had everything down here. It just wasn't, it was a given. This little bar right here that says Ab Zam Zam cocktails. This guy was, they don't want the major chains. I remember when there was a major, here we're at the corner of Haight and Ashford. They did not want that. The windows were broken. Now, Ben and Jerry's over here on the left was one of the few major corporations of the Haight-Ashbury, but they wanted to maintain this kind of bohemian feeling, hang out on the street. And it's old Edwardians, Victorian homes. These were all single-family dwelling homes throughout. Here on the left, and if we go up the hill, we'll just take a loop around. Now, the Grateful Dead, I went to school across the street here at this Catholic school. We didn't know what the Grateful Dead was. All we knew was they were getting busted by the police all the time. But lo and behold, they became very famous. But these homes along the street, now it's a French school, this convent, still, it's a monastery of perpetual adoration. These are cloistered nuns. They do not come out of the building. You are not allowed to see them. I had the honor as a kid to go see them once when they needed somebody to set up a projector. As you come up here, before Goldberg came in, during the 60s, you did not come in this park. And this is where his home is today. He had the house completely renovated and the home turned around completely.
Whoa! Hey!
Oh, this one, yeah. The homes around here, by mid-70s, became an ordinance in the restoration of a lot of these historical homes that in restoring them, you had to go through the permit process, and part of the permit process was also in painting them. It was required that you use at least 3 colored paints. And mainly for some people who lived in these were actually what they considered track homes. In order to get a better view rather than a flat front of your home, they curved them. So it gave you the appearance that you could see out. The only problem is, growing up, I lived in a home that had Dave 8, that 1/4 the house in. Italian 8 architecture. You'll see that throughout San Francisco. Section of the Golden Gate Park. This big building here on the left, Pacific Railway. This was, and again, more designs of these homes on both sides. Each this replacing what it used to on the left-hand side was the Opera House. The Opera House shared, the opera shared it with the San Francisco Symphony. Now they have their own separate buildings. The design of these buildings on the left, the older, is what they refer to as a Beaux Art design. In the Beaux Art, one thing they did was something that you don't do, and that is one up the United States.
San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you're gonna meet some gentle people.
Don't leave out your banana. You got to get me little dollars. You got to get a little.
San Francisco, be sure
情